Did this random guy on Twitter just solve how to fix global warming? Oh wait, it wasn't a random guy, it was Elon Musk. Oh boy. Don't worry, I'm not here to comment on the subtext of the richest man on earth glibly declaring in one sentence that he knows how to fix a problem that many millennials like myself have been existentially worried about for decades. And so I'm going to break down the scientific validity of a large solar-powered AI satellite constellation. I also want to discuss the economics of it. How much would it cost? What resources are necessary? How long would it take to implement? First, when he says large, how large are we talking? Are we talking about something that's like the size of the moon? No, not that big. This wouldn't be like some cloak around the Earth. This would be something at the L1 Lagrange point. They took a graphic. Basically, that's a point between the Earth and the Sun where the gravities of the Sun and the Earth cancel out. The math works out so it's about 1/10 of the way to the Sun, far past the Moon, about 3.5 times as far as the Moon is from the Earth. We don't want our large solar-powered AI satellite constellation to be being pulled towards the Sun or towards the Earth. We want it to be stable and lean relatively little fuel. Let's try to visualize this. It's like Venetian blinds almost that you have at this point way far from the Earth so that we can deflect the Sun just a little bit. Open the blinds just enough so that our temperatures remain stable. Given that greenhouse gases are about double the level they were pre-industrial, that means the sweet spot is about a 1.8% reduction in the sunlight that reaches all of Earth. The solar-powered part should make sense. After all, it's going to be getting direct sunlight. It's going to be way closer to the Sun, so we want to harness that power. Now, Elon's far from being original to suggest this sort of idea. It's been around for decades. I guess his twist is that it's AI-powered now. Is he just using AI as a buzzword, though? No, actually, with something as complicated as weather patterns, it would be quite useful. Onboard edge computing AI to make real-time dynamic adjustments to things like solar flares and all of the fluctuations in temperature. There have to be a lot of sensors, visual sensors, temperature sensors, sensors that gave you data about how it was on Earth on the surface. It's feasible that an AI with reinforcement learning could get pretty good at knowing when and how much to adjust these shades to let in the perfect amount of sunlight. Finally, it's called a satellite constellation because it will be orbiting the Earth. It will constantly be shielding the Earth from the sun's rays, and it will also be a constellation that will all be communicating to each other together. For the actual implementation, the satellites would be relatively small, but then they would fan out these giant webs of ultra-thin reflective plastic. It would be about 20 million tons of materials that we would need to put into space. We probably need somewhere between 4,000 and 9,000 launches to space in order to carry that whole payload into the proper orbit. So we're talking about 2 launches a day for 10 years or so. Total cost is between $5 and $10 trillion. Keep in mind, just the US's GDP last year was over $29 trillion. And the implementation timeline is only 10 to 20 years probably. This is something we could very easily see in our lifetime. This Elon Musk guy also happens to have reusable rockets, has satellites, has edge computing AI in Tesla, has his own AI company. Definitely not here to glaze or deify him, but he does seem to have a plan. We have the raw materials we need. It would be nice to cooperate with China for this because they basically have a monopoly on gallium, which is the best thing for making these solar panels. And that international cooperation seems like the biggest hurdle, at least in the short term. As well as public support. How do you convince people this isn't just a Lex Luthor plot? Geoengineering carries some heavy moral baggage, though we have been doing it basically unwittingly for the last 150 years anyway. Let me know what you think. Stay learning. Peace.